Hey, welcome back to the podcast. Today, I'm really excited to introduce you to Norma Morales and Marty Rodriguez, legendary real estate agent. Today, we're talking about how to do a successful partnership between a real estate professional and a loan officer. If you ask me why it matters, the answer is very simple: the client experience. I don't have to tell you that oftentimes we meet someone that absolutely wants to buy a house, but there's something about their credit. There's something about them getting a loan where it gets a little sideways. And when you've got a great partner, an excellent partner, you and I both know magic can happen. And when you don't have the right partner or the right expectations of your partner, the only person that really loses is the client, and that's bad. So if you're looking to improve performance, have a better client experience, generate more referrals, you're going to love today's show. Hey, so welcome back to the podcast. If you're a business person who requires great partnerships, great relationships in business to serve and support one another, you're absolutely going to love today's podcast. We've got Norma Morales, fantastic loan officer, 140, 150 loans a year, and a coach for Tom Ferry, and works with legendary Marty Rodriguez. Marty, if you don't know the name, owner of Century 21 Marty Rodriguez, I mean, you have been a legend in the real estate industry since I got started, right? So, I'm just so honored to have you both on the podcast. So, Norma, for the people that are out there watching that maybe have not met you before, give us a little background on, who you are, how long you've been in the mortgage space, and then we'll get into all the partnering stuff in a minute, but just give people context for who is Norma Morales?
So I've been in the industry since 1991. I started at Home Savings of America.
Did you? I do. Did you start when you were like 10?
Yes, I did.
Yes. Okay. I just want to be clear. All right.
Yes, and that's been about 27 years now.
Good for you. So just for more context, do you have a team? Are you a solo loan officer? Give us some context for that.
So I do have a team. There's 5 of us on the team. 3 of us originate, and we have 2 assistants. So that's our group.
It's exciting. And average sales price, average loan amount?
Average loan amount is $450.
Okay.
Average purchase price is about $550.
Okay, outstanding. And did I say that correctly? 140, 150
Yes,
transactions?
That's what we do.
It's a great business. $50 million in volume. So good for you.
Yes.
All right, legend. Is it weird for you when I call her a legend? Because we work together, but
It's not weird. I
Yeah.
totally respect her.
Yeah.
And I appreciate all the hard work that she's put into this industry.
I agree.
And she deserves that title.
So for the 11 people in real estate that don't know who Marty Rodriguez is, give us just first of all, how long have you been selling homes?
I've been selling homes for 41 years.
Okay, so 41 years. So we're just talking about Maxine Gellens and other, friends of ours that,
Yes.
we've known forever that have just withstood the test of time and remained relevant and consistent for all this time. So tell them, where is your business? And give us just the basic makeup of the business, because you own the brokerage, but they're going to assume what that means. So who is Marty Rodriguez? Tell us about your business.
Well, I think they need to know too that when I started, there were no computers, there were no cell phones, there was nothing. So Maxine and I have evolved, for all these years. And so, I think what's most important is that we did evolve, and that at my age, I think I'm pretty darn techie, which most people my age are, out of business. And now I have a team. I opened my own office in 1996. I bought a building, and so I own the building there, and I have got 13 agents on my team, and I have about 13 staff members. And my office is all about, we are just a team. We don't have the regular standard, agents that work there.
Yeah.
And that works for us because, we have rules, we have systems, we have standards, and everybody abides by those rules and standards.
Are you a strict, tough leader?
I don't know that I'm strict and, well, my daughter is.
Norma just gave me
the,
yes.
Yeah, because my daughter Shelley runs the company, Shelley Dow.
Yes.
She graduated from USC Marshall School of Business. So she's our broker. She runs our business and our personal business, and she set up all the systems. So everything's organized, systemized, computerized, color-coded, labeled. Every position has a manual. And then we have a sales manager and a sales support manager. So they are really the brains. I don't want to do that. I am a great salesperson.
You're a great listing agent.
I'm a great listing agent, and all I want to do is sell. I've been a great salesperson since I was 6 years old. I went to Catholic school as the best Christmas card seller, the best candy seller. I outsell any kid in school, and and thank God I married the right person who allows me to be me, to do the things I want to do, to sell, when I want to sell, any time of the day, and so I'm very fortunate.
Yeah, you're very blessed.
Yeah, because my husband and I we are really hard workers.
Yeah. Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
And that is a byproduct of being number one.
Yes, but we do see him around town every now and then playing and having fun in Newport Beach. But that's a whole other podcast.
Yes.
So every title rep, every lender, every escrow officer. I mean, you just go right down the line. They all dream of working with someone like a Marty, right? And every Marty dreams of working with someone that they trust, that they know has their back and their client's best interest. That's really kind of what I want to get into today. So why don't we start though with the origin? So how did you two first connect, and how long did it take, and what was sort of the moment when you finally started working together? So Norma, put it on you.
Okay. So I was at Home Savings of America, and I was being mentored at the time by a couple of folks. And one particular mentor told me, I think we've taught you everything we can for now. You need to go to Glendora, California, and meet this gal named Marty Rodriguez. And I was green and was following instructions, and I had no idea who Marty was. I just walked into her office, beautiful building. She had just opened it. I couldn't get past the receptionist. So
really?
The receptionist was there like, excuse me, where are you going? Oh, I just wanted to meet this lady here. Someone told me to stop by. No, you can't, you need to make an appointment. And I would call, and no, you can't get in. There was just no way through.
Yeah.
So I decided, what time does the receptionist leave? So she left at 8 p.m. So I started showing up at 8:15. Then I walked up to Marty's desk. She was tough as nails. And I appreciate that because she's worked really hard. So I started coming over every single night at 8:30, 8:15. And I started noticing too that she would look at me and be like, what are you wearing? And how do you look? And I was like, okay, she's paying close attention to this. So what I started to do is, at the time I didn't have much money. I was making $20-something thousand a year.
Yeah.
I would go home, re-iron my clothes, put it back on, and then show up to her office. This way, when she looked at me, it was a different look, right? I looked fresh, I looked clean. And then little by little, she started talking to me. And another thing is I would have to wait till after 9 p.m. to get her attention, because she could call folks until 9. She'd be on the phone. So sometimes I'd be there standing by her desk and nothing is happening, because she's on the phone. And I'm like, okay, I got to wait. So we would stay from 9 p.m. to midnight helping her with filing or calling a customer or whatever it may be. I was there to assist. She wasn't going to give me a deal, and I knew it because she didn't know me. So at the 6-month mark, my manager was like, okay, she's not giving you any deals. If you keep calling on that account, we're going to have to fire you. But I knew we had connected. I knew we had clicked. So I said, okay, I got to keep working this account. Month number 7, I got 15 deals from her. And she was like, it was a lot of rebuys. I think it was tests, let's see how she does. So I need to make sure that it did not fail you, because I was like, oh, if I fail.
Well, you put 7 months of how many days a week would she show up at the office?
Well, pretty much like Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
We're there pretty late.
Yeah, she's got banker hours. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So, but like on the 57th day of being there at 8:15 or 8:30, did you not at a certain point say to yourself, what am I doing?
Never.
This isn't working?
Never.
I'm getting closer?
I was learning every single day. I mean, when you sit with Marty just for an hour, you're going to learn so much.
Yes.
She's got tenacity. She's got, she's just amazing. She's a powerhouse.
Yeah.
And so I was learning.
Yes.
I wasn't just sitting there. I was learning. I was watching. I wanted to be successful, and I knew she was my next mentor. So she's done a great job, and I've done everything I could to take her advice and improve myself and my business. So it's been a great ride for 22 years.
Okay, so hold on. So don't you think, Marty, how many loan officers, title reps, escrow officers have tried to get in, try to get a meeting with you, and do you put them through the same rigmarole every time, or?
We have people that come in all the time, and it's been a process through the years where we've only picked a certain amount of lenders that we actually work with that we feel like, they prove themselves and we're comfortable, giving them the loans. They show up, they follow up, they know their guidelines. And that I cannot tell you, the big problem is that lenders that do not know their underwriting guidelines or have resources that they can go to somebody. I mean, that is huge. And Norma will tell you how many times, Norma, have I said, give me the package. I'm pulling the loan because I'm taking it to my lender. And they're like fighting me. It's like, are you kidding me? I'm trying to give you a paycheck. Just give me the file. So I can get this close for you. And so, many times I've been able to, pull it and taking it to, like Norma. She can tell you how many times she's done that. Many.
So at what point of this 6-month journey, first of all, you were having her do filing. You basically made her free help.
Well, she was in my way, so.
You're like, hey, since you're going to be here, file this. And
no, I actually was the one that would ask, hey, how can I help you? Because I knew she was so busy, and it was later in the evening. Her assistants weren't there.
Yeah.
So it was my way to get to know her.
Yes.
And I knew we needed to get to know each other. I do remember getting a hate call at her office. Someone contacted me and said, I've been trying for years to get through to her. How did you do it? It's not fair. And he went on and on and on. And I hung up the phone and I looked at Marty and she goes, what was that? I said, it was like a hate call or something.
Yeah.
And she says, you know what, Norma, it's okay. Just remember, some people click and some people don't. And it's okay.
Yeah.
So you don't have to click with everyone. So when you're a loan officer and you're looking for an agent to work with, it's important you click. If you don't click, it's okay. Don't force it.
Yeah.
You know?
And it either works or it doesn't.
Right.
But that's hard. So fundamentally, that's hard for people. That's hard for agents. That's hard for listing agents. Hard for loan officers, because either we don't hunt enough, so everyone really matters, or our ego just takes over and we want to I can do it. I can handle anybody.
Right.
How did you get over that?
Well, I first you need to like each other, right?
Yeah.
And if you like each other, you can take it from there. And then was I willing to take her advice? She's already pounded the pavement.
Yeah.
I have to take her advice, and am I willing to do that? For example, when I did meet her, my teeth weren't in great shape. So when I would talk, I would cover my mouth and I would laugh. She said, why are you doing that? Because she knew it was ruining my confidence.
Yeah.
Yes.
And she said, she made it a point. She's like, Norma, you need to take care of that because you have a beautiful smile. It's $1 million smile. I'll never forget that. She told me that. She says, and you need to get it fixed so you can show it off. So I took care of it, and that's part of it. It's like taking advice, learning, and understanding they're doing this for what's best for you. And so being a newer agent and knowing that I was okay taking her advice, because some people take her advice as criticism and they get, not confident about the situation and they run away. So it's
Marty is a little direct.
Yeah.
Oh,
and we're just trying to help people, but sometimes they don't take it that way.
Yeah.
Because we were raised, we didn't have a lot of money.
Yeah.
So you just got to be clean, you got to be sharp, you got to be pressed.
Yeah. Yeah. So Marty, hearing this from Norma, and now you two have been friends for 20 plus years, and you've done thousands of transactions together. What was it in the beginning? If a loan officer was listening to this right now, or an agent was listening to this right now, trying to find that ideal partner, right? Someone you can trust. You were giving her all these little tasks, or you weren't. She was just saying, hey, how can I help? What for you, what was it that finally pushed you over the edge to say, here's 15 files, go see if you can close them?
I think it's that, she was wanting to learn, because it's whether you're an agent or whether you're a mortgage broker, you must immerse yourself in your business. I know everything about real estate, but I know everything about income taxes. I know everything about property taxes. I know everything about the assessor's office. I know everything about building, construction. So I know everything about my business and everything that surrounds my business.
Yeah.
So a lender has to do the same thing. They have to know everything about their clients. They have to know everything about their underwriting guidelines, about their underwriters, who they can go to, how they can make this deal happen. And and when they can't, they're going to say, you know what, Marty, this is not for me. This is going to be for this other person, because Norma's done that before. It's like, I can't do this one. This is for somebody else, and take it there. So that's the kind of people I want to work with, and that's how we built our team. That's how we have about 5 different lenders that we work with.
Yeah.
So Tom, even when you don't know the guidelines, it's important just to know where to go and get them a quick answer.
Yeah.
Being resourceful.
Some of the things that we've done is she would ask me a question, hey, do you know about this? I would say, give me an hour and I'll get back to you. And having the proper resources, going back, having an underwriter you can call, having a manager that you can reach immediately and say, hey, can we do this type of exception? That's the type of service that I needed to provide to make sure that she was happy, because she has someone to answer to. She has a seller, she has a buyer. So there's pressure on their sides. These people are packed, ready to move. Can we do the deal? Can we not? So when she was talking about stealing the package from another lender that wasn't able to do it, it's really, not stealing the package. It's helping this customer keep the transaction together.
Yeah.
Because they have kids that are packed, ready to move. Their kitchen, they can't use it anymore. And are we going to be able to deliver?
Yeah. So I'm going to go back and ask the question again. What was it about Norma in the beginning that caused you what was the tipping point of trust?
I think it was, consistently coming back, even though she wasn't getting anything. And finally, somebody cuts you a break. That's how it works for all of us.
Yeah.
Because they see that, that you care, that you want to work, that you want to learn. And so it's like, okay, here's your chance. But sometimes, remember, you've only got one chance, so you've got to make it. You got to make it happen, because you might not get a second one.
And how many times in a year or in a few years would you give someone a chance like that?
Not very often. I will be honest with you, because, I can't take a chance of, losing a transaction. This it's got to happen for the client. So it's not very often. So that person's got to really prove to me that, they want it more than me for them.
Yeah. Yeah. Love it. So let's talk about the evolution of this relationship. And there's a lot, I'm going to ask everything from money to partnering to dealing with ups and downs. But let's just talk about, how has this partnership evolved over the last 2 decades?
We have a lot of ups and downs, like any relationship.
Sure.
I think what's most important is communication, talking to each other, being friends, understanding that, what's important to her and what's important to me. I think just like any relationship, it's
Do you guys yell at each other?
You know what?
Are there screaming fights? I knew that was going to come out.
Well, and the one thing about me is...
Marty, you can't yell at me right now.
The one thing about me is don't stop calling me. If you got a problem, you better call me every day, a couple times a day. Don't go silent on me. Once you go silent, I'm done with you.
Yeah.
Goodness,
don't go silent.
Those years are behind me, but there was times where I was on the frying pan, where she would be frustrated because maybe we weren't getting an answer fast enough.
Yep.
But one of the things I never did was ignore her phone call. She would call and I'd be like, darn, I still don't have an answer. I would be like, Marty, I still don't have an answer, but I'm working on it. And she, of course, would be frustrated. And I have to listen to it. I have to be okay and listen to it and understand that, she's got people to answer to.
Yeah.
And most importantly is just don't ignore the phone call.
Yeah, stay in communication.
Yeah. Even if it's, I don't know, I'm sure I'm going to get you an answer soon. Don't ignore your agent's calls.
So all relationships, business and personal, go through ups and downs. How have you been able to make this stick? Is it just communication? Is there life outside of work? How close do you guys get? Tell us about that stuff.
I think, it's, our communication, the company she's worked for, because she's made sure that, they're able to also perform for her. Because, Norma's actually, you've been through, maybe 5 different companies now, but, it's really, for me, it's staying with the person who understands and is going to, learn whatever that company has to offer us to, close our transactions. Because remember, I'm dealing with people's life, their money, their family, and their biggest investment. This is not a part-time job. And that's why, we get so passionate. Not only for my seller, I don't even know half those buyers, and I'm closing, deals for them. I'm making their dreams come true as well.
Yeah.
So, because we don't just provide service, we bring value.
Yes.
And that's what people don't understand. There's all they talk about is service. It's like, no, what value are you bringing to the table?
Yeah, exactly. So again, it's kind of the same thing. Does it get personal? Are you guys are you guys out having drinks together? Are you going on vacations together? Or is there a separation between sort of church and state?
No, we do.
We do Javier's.
No, we do spend some time together. And I think it just comes naturally. You know, you're working on transactions. Hey, let's go to dinner. Yeah. We do meet with each other after work.
After work. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's good.
You know what? And we do call nights with the agents, and that's kind of fun.
Tell us about that.
Well, what we do is we'll do call nights twice a week. So they come in and they we have a lender there, and they start cold calling. And if we can get the leads right to the lender right then and there, so we can get them pre-qualified. So that's been working actually pretty good as well.
Is that your team also there side by side? Are you guys making phone calls together?
Yes.
No, side by side in the office. We go upstairs to our training room, and everybody's in there. No distractions, just focusing on making calls and trying to pre-qualify buyers.
Hour of power.
Yeah, hour of power, baby. I love it. I love it. Spoken like a true coach.
So that works out really good.
So Marty, for the lenders or title reps or escrow officers or whoever it may be, right? Other value-added service providers that are listening to us right now, tell the listeners what is most important. Like you said, know your business, right? I understand all that. Like know it inside and out cold. If they know the business but they never engage with you, then it doesn't matter, right? So from an engagement standpoint, if they wanted to try and connect with someone of your stature, how would they go about doing that?
You know what? They need to build a really good team. Like, I've worked with my escrow officer, Diana, for 30 years.
Yeah.
And her other officer in there, Jennifer, has been there 17 years. So, they are amazing. I mean, what they do, they do miracles, and they'll go out of their way, even if it's after work. And they have so much value. Diana said that one day, she goes, we know so much about this business, and we do. Yeah. And Brian Davis with Lawyer's Title, my title rep, I've worked with him for 24 years now. So all these ancillary services are key to
100%.
To making all these transactions, because it's not just me that makes it happen. It's all these people, from the lender, from the title to the escrow person. So if you can build a great team who does business the way you do business and performs the way you do and has the knowledge, because they have immersed themselves in the business. They know everything about escrow. They know everything about title, and they're willing to go out of their way, even if it's on Saturday and Sunday sometimes for us to make it happen. Because remember, our buyers are average 600,000. So they can't just take days off. Every day is critical that it closes on time. Okay, I've got 3 escrows. Okay, you're going to close on this day. You're going to close on this day. You're going to close on this day. And you're going to move this day, this day, this day. Everybody plans. So there's so many facets that go into closing that transaction, and for me, that's really important.
Yeah,
And I think that as a lender, you have to work with a team that understands that piece. Like she said, everybody has to move at a certain time.
Yes.
And sometimes you're working with a management team that you go to and say, this deal has to close, and they look at you like, get in line. And if you have that kind of team you're working for, it's not the right team. You have to have the right support.
Yeah.
So that you can deliver, because like she said, there's people's lives at stake. They're moving, they have to find a new job maybe, or
kids, schools,
yes, there's so much
timing,
involved.
life,
and
death,
we have to understand
it's all there.
Marty likes to deliver on time.
Yeah.
And so I think most people like to deliver on time, right? So
we all want to, yes.
Yes.
So tell us from the two of your standpoint, what causes a partnership to fall apart?
I think when people stop believing in in the system, and they don't do the follow-up, and they don't continue to learn. I mean, I feel like I'm learning every single day. I'm learning so much right now. As a matter of fact, my manager and I were saying, oh my God, we're learning new things about the contract, new things coming into the contracts, closing transactions, working with our lenders, who's following up, who's not. Because that's a downfall of lenders, and Norma will tell you, is, you give them a lead, and, I know we're supposed to follow up, but then so are they.
Yeah.
So if you have a great team following up together, you're going to close these transactions. But where the big downfall of most lenders is they don't follow up.
Wouldn't you agree, though, it's not just lenders, it's agents. I mean, this is why
it's everybody. They want instant gratification.
Yeah.
So if it's not going to happen right now, there's no follow-up.
Yeah. And if there's more leads coming down the pipeline,
yes,
then...
exactly.
So what are your thoughts on that? If you were just talking to a bunch of our lender clients right now, what do you find are the most effective things in terms of lead follow-up? And I'm going to ask you the same thing on the agent side. So what's the most effective strategies for following up on leads today?
So
on an agent side?
Immediately.
Yeah.
Call immediately. Like Marty will text me the name and number to be like, this guy's looking to buy. I call right there and then. If I don't reach him, I will try again within an hour. I will text the customer as well. So I have to make like 5 attempts of calling within the same day. And if it doesn't work, I will reach out to her and be like, oh, I've been able to reach your client. And she'll be, hang on. And she'll get him on the other line.
Yeah, I'm a big
it's about
multitasker.
now.
I conference call like all the time.
Yeah.
I can't get home. Wait a minute. Let me get everybody on the line right now because I'm going to save all those phone calls that are that don't need to take place.
So you're a 5 attempt in the first day rule, which I think a lot of agents are listening to thinking, oh my goodness, I don't even do 5. Like maybe I send a text, maybe I send an email, maybe I shoot a bomb video, maybe I make a phone call. So Marty, what about you? I mean, you are, I got to tell you, this is super fun. Like, we worked together privately for many years. We've known each other forever and ever and ever. This is the first time we've ever done an interview like this. And like, there's 8 million questions I want to ask you, but I'm just going to give you the obvious. Follow up. If I'm an agent on your team, what are the standards and guidelines for following up on leads?
Well, it goes with our team. If you don't follow up on them, then it's open game. So somebody else can, jump in and take your lead away from you. So I think, that's kind of motivation as well. And we have one of the girls that kind of checks on that to see if there's notes in the computer. Are they following up? So those notes are really important because they could lose their client.
Yeah. So remind me of this. What platform are you using? Do you have Boomtown, Commissions Inc., KV Core?
We have Planet RE right now.
Planet RE, right? So, okay. Yeah. And how many leads do you have coming in on a normal monthly basis?
Oh, gosh, you know me. I'm not good with all the numbers. That's Jesse's job.
What would you guess?
I have 400 at least.
Yeah.
Minimum.
Okay.
Minimum, maybe more.
Yeah, I'd probably guess more. Do you do Zillow? Do you do Google? Are you doing Facebook? Like, where are the leads coming in from? Do you know all the answers to these questions as well?
I don't.
Okay.
We do, we do Zillow. I would say Trulia, Zillow probably are where most of our leads are coming from.
Yep.
Yeah. And then, referral, past clients.
Yep. All right.
Because remember, how you do your business is the best form of advertising.
100%.
Yeah. And I have over 540 reviews on Zillow, so it's pretty awesome.
Isn't it amazing to think about how long we've been doing this? Now you see agents like yourself having 540 reviews on Zillow. Yeah. I remember 7-8 years ago saying to people, get your reviews there. Yeah.
I'm a lot older than these people, but I started, I think, right before they did.
Exactly.
Because I get it.
Yeah, 100%. All right, so we're talking about partnership, right? I asked you, like when it goes south, what do you do? Kind of highs and lows. But what about this? What do you do when you select the wrong partner? You ever fired an agent from your relationship base?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what do you do when you selected the wrong partner?
You just stop working together.
Well, do you ghost them and just not return their phone calls, or
just nicely, it'll happen.
What I told Norma a long time ago. I says, it's the people that don't do a lot of business that want you to give them stuff. Yeah. I don't want your stuff. I don't want your donuts. I want service.
She told me once, don't talk about the labor pains, just show me the baby.
Yeah.
So,
You're like, metaphorically, or like, what are you talking about? You want my first child?
Absolutely, we have to understand that. That means, don't talk about all the drama in the business. Just get the deal done.
Yeah.
And get it done on time.
So you brought up money, and I wanted to bring that up, even though it was kind of I got like 5 sort of just, crazy questions I want to ask you at the end. One is the obvious, which is so much of the mortgage agent relationship over the last really 6 years, I want to say, because of Boomtown, I think, being the first, and then Zillow and others following that same path. Money exchange for the two of you? Are you buying half her leads? Are you not doing that?
No.
Okay, that you could be the first no I've ever heard. So please explain.
No. I know when they first started, they wanted to do that, but now it's something that we don't do. My daughter Shelly's pretty straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
And working in the banking world,
they're not allowed.
The same way. And
B of A, Wells,
that's part of
Chase,
why we connected, because she runs her business very corporate-like.
Yeah.
And obviously I work for corporate, so I think that's probably one of the reasons why we clicked.
Yeah. I think when Zillow first came out, that's kind of what people were, doing, but now with the RESPA and everything else, it's not something that,
So to be clear, you still have, I don't want to misquote the number, but 60, 70,000 agents or 90,000 agents on Zillow, and I'm guessing half of them, just a guess, half of them have a lender paying some portion of it.
Probably.
Yeah.
I would say they do.
Yeah. So, but you just seem, you're anti, and then you pick the right partner, clearly, who's coming from a banking side.
I don't know. Shelley's pretty. People want us to do the
marketing agreements,
and all this kind of stuff,
MSAs that have been around forever. Yeah,
MSAs.
Yeah. So we haven't done that.
I got to tell you, that's a breath of fresh air especially for someone who's been doing this as long as you have. Because, so much of the industry has gone towards, you can buy agents.
Tom, you remember way back when
I know.
all these title companies, and we had people send us checks, and
oh my goodness,
and Shelly sent them back.
Yeah. Laker floor seats, pay for your Christmas parties, do whatever it takes. I think the title industry actually called themselves out and saved probably $30 or $40 million a year doing that.
But hey, we did have the best parties with them. They used to put on some good parties.
There was that. Yeah. All right, so that's interesting to hear. And I mean, obviously, I knew that, but I wanted the listeners to hear that there are actually great partnerships that isn't just a financial exchange. That instead, it really is value. It is service. It is
professionalism,
responsiveness.
What happens when they're paying for you, and then they feel like you owe us the business, and then they're not really a good lender.
Yeah.
You're kind of stuck with them because you got to,
Yeah, because they're paying half the bill.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it as a business strategy. So Norma, how do you feel about, Marty has other mortgage partners that she's sending business to. How do you?
I work with other agents.
Yeah.
That's the
it's
best.
Absolutely
that was
okay.
the best answer ever. Other agents. Some people would. This is like catching the big whale, right? And then hundreds of transactions a year, right? It becomes the expectation. You said to me she represents 30%, 40%.
My business, yes.
Right. So that means there's a whole bunch of other people that are doing business with you. So you don't have any problem with that.
No.
And you can't because we work with other lenders. She works with other agents, and we have certain lenders that Also, remember, you have to click. So there's certain personalities that are going to click with Norma, and other personalities that are not. So we have to pick and choose who's going to work with who.
So Tom, it makes it a lot of fun because when I get a lead from them, I know they want it to go to me.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, oh wow, they chose me.
Right.
So it makes me feel even better.
Yeah.
So it's my goal to get more leads from them and make sure I'm responsive and professional and get the job done quickly.
Yeah. So she's one of our preferred lenders.
Yeah, but do you have some sort of, so what's your strategy? Leads come in, how do you decide Norma gets this one, Tom gets that one, Rich gets this one, how do you decide?
You know what, a lot of them they're from their call nights. They, we have the different lenders that come in, so it's going to be their calls, and some of the agents have just built a relationship with her, so they're going to give it to Norma no matter what.
Yeah. Okay,
and we like that because we want them to click, and they click.
Yep. I think at the end of the day, the word is trust.
Yes.
Right. I always go how do we establish trust? Because once we trust each other, we can still make mistakes, right? We're things are going to happen. We're human. So, what is your advice for all the listeners? Best advice for creating and keeping trust?
Best advice is really just doing your job, knowing your stuff. Following up, knowing your guidelines, just tell me that's going to close, and I don't want the drama. Just please close it. Because when I first started in the business, I worked in an office and I only had one lender because I was brand new. I didn't know any different. Yeah. And every transaction was a roller coaster ride. Yeah. And then when I left that office and I met another lender in 1990, it was like, oh my God, he taught me that's not how mortgage worked. Yeah. He just took the loan and he closed the deal, and there was no drama. So when as time went on, those are the kind of people I was looking for.
And I think that's so critically important nowadays is real estate agents need to let loan officers do their job, but the loan officer needs to do their job.
Yes.
Right. So I think that's what creates the trust.
Do you think that some of that is setting expectations? Right. I mean, I know Marty. Marty wants it, right now, instantaneously, hurry.
Yes.
I'm still waiting. Come on, let's go. So how do you create the right expectation with a high producing, high D, crazy driver?
So you hire a coach. Right? You hire a coach.
And then you become a coach.
Yes, and then you become a coach. Yeah. So you can build systems. Yeah. You have a schedule. Yep. You have a process, right? And that's how you deliver, and you help deliver on those expectations. And she's taught me how to build team. She has a team, so I learned from her, and that's what you do.
Do you ever have to just want to punch her in the throat, metaphorically, to get her to tell the truth?
Never.
You know what I mean? But I mean,
that's okay. You can tell the truth.
Yeah. To confront her to say your expectation is unrealistic for this client with this situation. I need a week versus an hour. Is that? Like, do you guys have that kind of relationship?
Well, before Norma, before I met Norma, I had a net branch, a long time ago, and I remember the gentleman that ran that branch. He left to open his own branch, and he said, if I can work for Marty Rodriguez, I can work for anybody.
Exactly.
And you know what? And he's right. And he goes, Marty, what I miss the most is the way you do your business. He goes, your organization, how organized you are, your files, everything. It made their job as a lender so much easier.
Exactly.
So it's, we're helping each other.
Of course. And I don't mean, I'm not isolating you, just, but,
Oh, no.
We all know
I'm not
at
easy.
this level.
If you can work for me, you can work for anybody. I'll agree with you.
Yeah.
Because I am demanding. This is all about my customer.
Yeah.
Without my customer, I'm nobody. I will fight for them.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I love it. All right. So let's talk about biggest mistakes to avoid in partnering. What's been the biggest mistake either you've witnessed with another partner or you've done with each other and got over? Biggest mistakes.
I think I pre-framed them. It's like, not to hide from me and, keep talking, keep communicating with me. When I have a problem on a deal, guess what? I'm going to call that client every single day, maybe a couple times a day, because if I can't fix it, communication is key to keep that thing from, blowing up in my face.
I love it. You're driving home the central theme. This is, thank you. You're driving it home. Norma, thoughts?
So
mistakes to avoid?
Mistakes to avoid is hiding from the agent, like she mentioned.
Yep.
And also, if you can't do the deal and someone can, help them out.
Yeah.
Let them know,
Yeah.
I can't do this deal. However, I feel that so-and-so can. So give them a shot.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you keep it fresh? You've been doing this for 23 years together.
We're always doing seminars. We're always talking
Yes.
about your podcast, or we're always talking about what's the latest and greatest. And so we don't stop learning. Some people, I'm still being coached. I believe in coaching because you got to stay sharp. You got to stay fresh. You got to stay up to date and everything. And Marty says, I'm always reinventing myself. I say, I got to do the same.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I am. I mean, and just listening to people, I've listened to your dad, I've listened to you, I think that, Tony Robbins, it's like, okay, somebody needs to freshen me up because I can tell that, there's too much negative coming in. I got to get some positive because it's a work in progress every day.
Well, we solve problems for a profit.
Yes.
That's what we do all day long, right? But that means that we're in the problem all the time,
yes,
right?
We are.
Okay, so last question. What, if anything, right? What, if anything, do you two do around schedule and holding each other accountable? Like frequency of meetings and accountability.
So we don't have like a formal meeting time. Our meeting time is when the lead comes in.
Yeah.
So I have to answer, typically by the end of the night, we will get on the phone or shoot each other a text. Here's what happened with this customer.
Yeah.
So it's on a daily basis.
Yeah.
It's not on a monthly or weekly or every Friday. It's never been that way because she needs to know now.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of, for me, I didn't start with all of you guys and scheduling. And so I'm sometimes all over the place. And not that that's the right way to be. I know it's what works for me.
Yes.
But, I guess I have a Marty schedule, I try to work out on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then we have, meetings on Wednesday. And then my day, people ask, what are you going to do today? I go, this is what I plan on doing, but I really don't know what I'm going to do because something comes up, I'm probably going to, deal with it and handle it.
Yeah.
So if it's a listing appointment, I want to be there as fast as I can.
Yeah.
So,
So no frequency of regular meetings, but it's just every day if there's a lead.
With us, yeah.
And then what about you've got 20 leads in your pipeline that you're working? Are you communicating all that back to Marty on a daily basis,
once
a weekly
it
basis,
turns into
escrow?
a real deal, I'm dealing with her TCs or my assistants are dealing with her TCs. And then that's basically the process.
Good.
Yeah.
So it's always just a new start with a new lead every time.
Yeah.
Yes.
The office has we have a meeting every Wednesday, a complete office meeting, once a month.
Yep.
And then call nights, they have, twice a week. So other than that, then they should be, doing their own prospecting. As I need to do my own prospecting and my own follow-up as well.
Yep. How much prospecting are you doing these days?
You know what? For me, it's all day long. If I'm like, I got a couple of minutes, okay, I got to call this person. I got a couple more minutes, okay, I'm going to call that person. So all day long, I'm picking up, or my assistants, hey, Marty, you need to call this person. It's time to call this person. So she reminds me, who I need to follow up with.
Yeah.
So I don't really have a set time, it's kind of all day when I have the time to fill in for me.
Yeah.
I know there's some people, it's like, okay, this is my time, don't bother me, and that, that is perfect and it works for them.
Yeah.
That's what, the agents do. But for me, I'm usually dealing with so many different things. Right now I've got a client that was denied her Proposition 60, so I'm fighting that with her. It's complicated, but I'm able to do that.
Yeah.
I've got another one. I've got a deposit in dispute, so I'm dealing with that. But meanwhile, I'm also like a client wants to see a house today, and I don't usually show houses, but this is a special client I'm dealing with, so I already got it before I came set up, and Lori's going to meet her there. So every day it's like something else is
It's go, go, go.
but I'm ready.
Yeah.
Because I don't do anything else. I don't cook. I don't clean. I don't wash. I don't shop. I don't do anything. I'm just like, I'm ready to take my...
You shop. I've seen you at Fashion Island.
Not a whole lot. Oh, yeah, that would only be on Sunday.
Yeah.
You saw me there. Yeah, other than that, because I don't really like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
you're doing what you love.
I do.
Yes.
I love my job.
Yeah.
I think it's important just to find your groove with your partner.
Yes.
So in her particular case, she likes updates, pretty constant.
Yep.
Other agents may like it, every Friday, give them an update on what's going on with the deals or the leads. Just find your groove.
Yeah.
And I think her and I have found our groove pretty early on, and we just continued going.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a special thing.
Yes, it is. And you got to find your groove with your team, too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you, I can't help. I've got to ask her a couple questions just on the straight up listing side of the business.
Okay.
So you're listing 12 houses a month. How many appointments
That's my close, to close for a month.
new listings taken.
Yeah.
How many, what's your goal for new listings taken?
I've got to probably take, because some of these are just coming. I'm not even going on appointments. I'm getting people just calling me from my from my reviews as well.
Yeah.
So probably I've got to go on 20 appointments a month.
Right. So 20 listing appointments a month.
At least.
How is your listing presentation evolved over the last few years? Like, what are some of the changes you've made along the way that wins the business, gets the listing at the right price, gets it listed at the right commission rate?
I guess, because pretty much that 6% is coming to 5% because you're competing against so many discount brokers at this time.
Yeah.
But, I'm sticking with my 5, and sometimes I get 6 at this time, especially when the houses aren't selling and they're going to sit there.
Yeah.
So, and it's evolved. I mean, everything was manual. Now everything is, technology. And, I've evolved to that, and I have a great team. And like Henry Ford says, I don't need to know that. I just need to make sure I've got the people that know how to do it for me. And that I do have, I have an awesome team. So,
I bet she's said that 1,000 times.
Yes, I have.
I don't actually need to know that. Like Henry Ford once said.
Yes, exactly.
So would you say that your presentation is very much the same way every time?
Very much, it is the same way every time, okay? From, telling them what I do, what to expect, and then to going over the comparables and coming up with, value and going from there and, telling them what it's going to cost them and giving them that information. I'm actually surprised how many agents don't do that because they'll tell me, the last agent didn't tell me all this. It's like, how could they not? It's like part of the presentation.
Yeah.
And I want to pause for a moment there and interrupt.
Yeah, please.
There's 3 things every loan officer needs to do with a lead, right? That's pre-approved.
Yeah.
Their max purchase price, their monthly payment, and their total cash to close. Those are 3 things buyers need to know.
Yes.
You have no clue how many buyers have gotten to the closing table and had no clue how much their closing costs were, had no clue what their total payment with tax and insurance. And that's when Marty's been like, okay, these customers aren't happy. I'm pulling the deal and I'm taking it somewhere else.
Bingo.
And those are 3 things. And so for Marty, it's exactly right, knowing their net.
Yeah, exactly. And, my listing appointment, and I let them know, a team will always outperform an individual, and I'll just go through what everybody on the team is, going to be doing for them. And there's always somebody available because, my people are there from 8 in the morning till 8 at night. And that's not 8:01, 8:02, that is 8 o'clock sharp. Okay. Salary rewards are people for being on time. So attendance is never an issue. That is the standard.
Yeah.
So, and then, on Saturdays and Sundays, they're there from 9 to 3, answering calls, distributing emails, making sure any problems are, handled.
Yeah.
So for us, it's, 7 days a week.
Yeah, well, it's a system and it's like everyone says, real estate, all the money's made before 8 o'clock in the morning, after 5 o'clock, and all weekend long.
Yeah.
Like so how has the mortgage presentation changed over the last couple of years?
Oh, it's now become a lot more email, Applications done on an app over the phone, scanning documents, that type of stuff. That's how we've evolved.
But how about the degree of separation? Like, okay, so Norma, why you versus going to somebody else? Marty referred me to you. I love Marty. But, I can get a loan from anybody.
It's also having a presentation, right? So making sure I let the customer know those three things we talked about. I will let you know your max purchase price, your monthly payment, and your cash to close by the time we're done with our consultation. And answering their questions and being patient, knowing their personality type, right? Are you connecting? Are you not connecting? Are you repelling? Or are you rapport with them? So those are the things that, as a good loan officer, you need to make sure you're connecting with your client.
Yeah. Soft skills with a whole lot of understanding the money.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
and understanding
powerful.
what their hot point is it the cash to close?
Yeah.
So what's your number? Make sure that we're within that range. Or is it the payment? What's most important to you? Well, how long will you be in your loan before you refinance or move? And show them the difference that maybe they don't need a 30-year fix. Maybe they can take a 5-year fix. And if they're planning to move in a few years. So that's what a great loan officer needs to do, and make sure we're having a great presentation so that when they go back to Marty, they're ready to buy a house.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Pre-approved, ready to go.
Right. And I'll be able to list their house, and then my buyer's agent will be able to take them and, sell them a house. So it's a whole process, and it works.
Okay, I kind of feel like we could do this for about 7 more hours, just digging in. But so being mindful of our listeners out there, if we were to wrap this up, what's just one last piece of advice for every lender listening? You just gave a bunch of really good nuggets, by the way. So I know I'm putting you, on the pressure's on. And then same thing, Marty, like 41 years in the business, you continue to evolve and get better and improve. Just from either one of you, whoever wants to go first, most important advice for agents and lenders going forward.
I think the most important advice for agents, because it's the thing that we struggle with, is working with other agents who really don't know the business, don't know the contracts, who complicate situations that are actually simple. So all I can say is if you want to be in real estate and you want to be successful, then you have to immerse yourself in the business and learn everything about it, starting with the contract, understanding people, understanding your lender, your escrow, everybody around you, and pick the right team, because they can make you or break you.
Yeah.
And for me, I would say if you're not into doing the hard work, then you're in the wrong business. Because I think oftentimes folks join the business because they're like, oh, you can make a quick dollar here, right? Yeah. Whether it's a real estate or mortgage. However, they forget that you have to call. You have to show up at 8:30 p.m. and stand by her desk until she's ready to talk to me so I can connect with her and get to know her. That's hard work, you know? Of course, there was days I would be like, okay, well, is this right or is this not right? Not just with Marty, maybe with another agent that I was going after. We have to make sure that you are in for it and you're going to put in the hard work and dedication. If you can't put the hard work and dedication, this is not the business.
Yeah.
So, because, and coaching, Tom, it's the same thing. You get into a business, you got to have a system and hire a coach. And if you're serious, you hire a coach and you take your business to the next level.
As long as you do the work.
That's right.
Do the thing.
Have the power. Nice way to finish it.
Because number one is a byproduct of skill, hard work, dedication, persistence, and a lot of satisfied clients.
Yep, that's the whole game.
That's the whole game.
Yeah,
and I'm a hard worker.
And I'm looking forward.
And what? I can say this now. I am awesome at what I do.
Yes.
Heck yeah, you are. Heck yeah, both of you. All right. Well, listen. Thank you so much for joining us. Best way for people to reach out if they want to connect with you. I'm sure we'll put it at least on the video, email, and cell phone. But what's your email address if people wanted to reach out and send you an email and just check in, say hi, ask a question?
My email is mr@c21martyrodriguez.com, and that's MartyRodriguez.
Love it. .com.
And I'm Norma.Morales@homebridge.com.
Perfect. All right. Well, listen, ladies, thank you so much for contributing. And for everybody out there listening, I hope you got a ton of value out of this. If you're an agent and you're listening to this, you probably need to send this to your lender or 2 or 3 of your lender buddies and say, this is what I want. This is how we need to be working together. And if you're a lender, same exact thing with your agent partners. So thank you guys so much. Ladies, thank you so much. This was super powerful. Appreciate you both. Hey, thank you so much for listening. You know what I would love? A comment. Give me some feedback. What do you like? What would you like more of? What do you want less of? I'm doing these podcasts for you, so whatever channel or app you use, write a comment or two. My team and I will take a look at it, and we'll keep getting better and better just for you. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll talk to you on the next podcast.